As professional software engineers, we know that linting our code can be very beneficial. And for over a decade, ESLint has been the de facto tool for linting in the JavaScript and TypeScript ecosystem. However, in the past several years, ESLint has been a pain to maintain whenever there is a package update. The problem stems from the fact that ESLint is written using Node.js, which obviously is JavaScript, and as such uses NPM or Node Package Manager to manage its dependency. NPM is notorious for circular dependencies that runs very deep. Development teams might find themselves very deep in the ESLint NPM package maintenance hell. And I have helped many developers with this issue within the past 18 months. So it is for this reason, my dear viewers, that I'm going to suggest a more modern linting library called Biome, which is written in Rust. Now, if you're happy with ESLint, then by all means stick with it. In which case, you can watch this video for sheer entertainment value. In this video, I will walk you through the process of converting an old React application that uses ESLint and Prettier to Biome, which will do the work of both. I will be using VS Code as the IDE, and I will be using PNPM, which is very fast and it has a large market share in the industry. I will be moving quickly as I want to keep this video to about 10 minutes. Please note that in my computer I have aliased the command pnpm to just pn for fewer keystrokes. Certainly you can do the same within your bash rc file or your zsh rc configuration file. Obviously, you prefer to watch video tutorials rather than reading dry documentation. That's why you're here. But nevertheless, I will link Biome's documentation in this video's description section. I will say though that Biome has one of the best documentation in the industry with plenty of examples. Here we are in VS Code with an old React 18 slideshow application that uses ESLint and Prettier. I'm using React here, but the process is similar for other single-page application libraries and frameworks. Obviously, we will want to create a migration get branch. Please take note that when we install Biome, we want to save an exact version for our lock file so that the dev team can stay consistent with each other and with our CI/CD pipeline. That's why there's no caret in front of the version number for Biome on line 17. Please install the Biome VS Code extension. I know, another extension, but this one is worth it though. And if all goes well and you like Biome, then you won't need the ESLint extension anymore. If one were to read the documentation for the Biome VS Code extension, we will notice that we have some options as to how we can configure Biome with VS Code. As I stated earlier, Biome can do the work of both ESLint and Prettier. And if I want Biome to be my default formatter in VS Code, then I can go into the settings and change the default formatter to be Biome, like so. If you do not want Biome to be your default formatter for VS Code, then certainly you can go into the settings.json file and specify Biome for certain programming languages. Like in my case, I have Biome as the default formatter for JavaScript and TypeScript, as well as JavaScript React and TypeScript React. Next, we will issue the command pn biome init. Again, I've aliased my PNPM command to just pn. After issuance of the biome init command, you will get this nice printout here telling you what was executed and possible next steps. To make a long story short, when you issue the biome init command using PNPM, it will generate a biome.json command for you, file for you. Now, this file will replace the ESLint RC file as well as the Prettier.rc file. When initializing your biome configuration, you have the option of passing in the JSON-C flag, which will generate a biome.jsonc file. The JSON-C file will allow you to add comments to your JSON file, but when it runs, it will compile to be a JSON file. So that might offer you a bit of flexibility among your team. The automatically generated biome.json file will give you a base linting configuration for your code base. In the case where you do not have ESLint configured yet, or you do not have Prettier configured yet for your project, then in that case, once you have installed and initialized Biome, what you could do is run the PNPM Biome format, give it the right flag, and then specify, for example, /source src, and it will go and read your files and then fix whatever linting rule that needs to be fixed. In my case, since I'm converting from ESLint and Prettier over to Biome, Biome offers me a command line to run to convert over and update this biome.json file automatically. As you can see here, whatever rules was in my lint rc file has been converted over. There's also a comparable command for the Prettier file, as you can see here. I must also mention that in my case, I had some linting rules specified in my VS Code settings.json file, and Biome migrated that over to this file for me as well. Obviously, in my case, I would delete the linting rules that were in the JSON file, the settings.json file. Next, I would update the scripts in the package.json file for linting, switch from ESLint over to Biome. And with respect to the scripts command that Biome gives you, you have multiple choices as to what you want Biome to do for you and the depth at which you want Biome to perform for you. Refer to the documentation. Now that I have Biome in place for the most part, I can go ahead and delete everything that is associated with ESLint for the package.json file, delete the configuration file for ESLint and Prettier, delete the node modules, the log packages, and then reinstall. Obviously, um, I'm using PNPM, so this was a legacy from the past since this is an old React application. Now that I've deleted ESLint and Prettier stuff, let's make sure that everything's working. So I'm getting a proper warning as to my use effect hook and how it's implemented. This warning is correct. And then I messed up the indentation and I've added semicolons. And I specified in my configuration file not to have semicolons. And I'm going to press Command Save to make sure that it fixes automatically. And it does. So everything's working as it should. Now let's move on to get hooks and our CI/CD pipeline. Now I know that Husky was popular at one point in time for CI/CD and linting, but left hook is taking market share away from Husky because it's actually better than Husky. Unfortunately, the documentation for left hook is a bit wanting. I shall be rectifying that in the near future. In fact, in Biome, there's a Biome section in the documentation, and it shows you how to set up left hook with Biome. And if you prefer to use Husky with Biome, and they'll show you how to do that as well. Once I install left hook, I create a left hook.yaml file at the root of my directory. Now, this configuration here is from the Biome documentation. It's very basic. And then once you have your basic configuration in place, save the file, and you're going to run PNPM left hook install, and it will sync for you. Before we conclude this video, I need to mention that Biome has a list of linting rules. It's it's very lengthy. Um, Refer to documentation for that. I will have the links in the description. Also, Biome has a playground where you can paste in your code and it will highlight the linting discrepancy for you. Okay? Okay, my dear friends. I hope that was useful for you. I hope you give Biome a try. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you're not yet a subscriber. It doesn't cost you anything, completely free. Please consider giving this video a thumbs up if you like it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.